Hi, everyone. Hello. First of all, as Jonathan said, my name is Tony Ochoa. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm on the advancement team with AYA Youth Collective. Before I start, have any of y'all heard of AYA Youth Collective? If you want to raise your hand if you had. That's awesome. That's like 4 more than usual. So I jokingly say that we are Grand Rapids' best kept secret, even though we don't want to be. Many of you may have heard of HQ Grand Rapids or 311 Youth Housing. Well, in February 2020, we merged to form AYA Youth Collective, and then March 2020 happened. So as you can imagine, with the pandemic and the news cycle, not a lot of people were able to learn about our merger and our new organization, AYA Youth Collective. We create communities rooted in belonging for youth experiencing instability to own their future. Quite simply, that instability can look like many things. It can look like food insecurity, and it can look like barriers to having clean laundry and accessible showers. But for the most part, most of our youth are experiencing some type of housing instability. And that could be everything from literal homelessness, sleeping outside, sleeping in emergency shelters. It can mean sleeping in hotels with their families. It can mean couch surfing. It can mean sleeping in their cars. The spectrum is wide of how people experience housing instability, and as you can imagine, with the housing crisis going on in Kent County, that is pretty significant. We know every 2 weeks, our organization and a few others are looking at names of youth between the ages of 14 and 24 that are sleeping outside, and that number fluctuates, but it is usually over 200, sometimes as high as 260. So we know that in Grand Rapids area, there's over 200 youth sleeping outside, and we are simply an organization that's trying to answer or find solutions to that problem. One way that we do that is we offer a drop-in center at 320 State Street Southeast. That's not too far from here. A drop-in center is essentially a day shelter, a time where people can come out from the elements, they can come into a safe space, they can access food, they can access water, they can shower, but a drop-in center difference that we have resources that come to our center, community members, partnering organizations, so we can kind of exist as a one-stop shop. So youth that are experiencing homelessness and other forms of instability can come to us. They can receive counseling, some basic medical care, they can do yoga, they can access other forms of creative outlets. Because not only are we trying to provide a physically safe space, but we're also trying to build soft skills and provide a mental health stability that can then propel them into future success. So AYA employs a number of youth advocates. These can be social workers, it can be people that experience homelessness themselves or other forms of instability as youth who are now trying to use their talents and skills to help coach and mentor youth into housing stability and other forms of stability. We're very youth-directed, and we focus on relationships. So we try to remove as many barriers as possible and enable youth to make these decisions themselves. So there's no, if you want a free meal, you have to do XYZ first. First, it's quite simply, you are human, you have dignity, you deserve food, let's get you fed. Oh, by the way, we've developed a relationship, we've developed this sense of candor and fun with each other. Now let me speak some of that tough love into you. And so we have found that the relationships are the key to continuously motivate youth to do some of these hard steps of doing the work to achieving housing stability. We own 9 homes around Grand Rapids, and we can house up to 27 youth. And each home is partnered with a group of housing mentors where they can walk alongside youth that are sleeping in our homes. And again, more of that coaching, more of that mentoring of how do you pay rent? How do you deal with conflict with roommates? How do you deal with utilities? How do you clean your room? So more coaching of soft skills and more of those hard skills of what it looks like to actually live in a home and to maintain housing stability. So these housing mentors kind of act as like an awesome RA or RD for any of you that went to college and lived in the dorms. So they're not quite a friend, but they're not necessarily a parent. They can be a net to help catch youth when they experience hard times, but they can also, again, speak into that hard love, or they can just have a pizza together. Y'all are so generous. You are leading a donation drive, and I believe it's $15 to purchase and contribute a backpack, or it's $30 to purchase and contribute a backpack that's filled with essential items. These items were explicitly asked for by our youth that we have then asked you all for. It's going to be donated to our drop-in center where youth can come in, they can request these backpacks, they can request deodorant, tampons, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and we can give it to them. And we're so grateful for your generosity, and I hope to see you all downstairs. Thank you.